How's it going, my fellas? Welcome back, it's Nick here. And just to avoid any confusion, as you've seen earlier this week, I've been re-uploading the most iconic world record videos to the channel, as well as the tutorial on N64 Bowser's Castle. And now, as of today and tomorrow, I'm re-uploading October, November, December 2018, as well as January and February 2019 world record progression videos to the channel, just to avoid any confusion. And the newest March 2019 recap is coming this Saturday at April 6th. So if you want to see that, don't miss it. Click the subscribe button, support the channel, and just rewatch the videos, get pumped for the March video, and we'll take it from there. Thank you very much, and enjoy. Welcome back, everyone. NMeade here. Today, we'll be reviewing all of the world records set in January 2019. We had world record improvements on 10 unique tracks, 17 world records in total to review for this video. So sit tight and enjoy the video. As always, there are informational links in the description below in regards to time trial, where to watch the newest world record videos, other useful links and resources for you if you like time trials. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off this month, the world record battle on Grumble Volcano No Glitch No Shortcut continued. On the very first day, Connor returned and got the world record back from Blaze with a time of 1:52.055 on January 1st. However, he improved 2 more times. He also got a 1:52.022 3 days later on January 4th, and finally, after all this time, we see the very first 151 on the No Glitch No Shortcut category, set on January 21st by Connor as well, with a time of 1:51.901. It's very cool to see the very first 152 here in this category. I know Connor, to my knowledge, has been trying this track for a little bit over half a year now, even before he got the world record here. It always seemed to be the elusive target for these players to hit for quite a while now. However, I do think this time can still go down by a good amount, but that's really going to require getting these, I guess, quote-unquote lucky ramps, as they call it, at the very end, which Connor got only on 1 lap in the sub 152 run, but it definitely looks like he saved a lot of time from that, especially granted that in other runs that I've seen, players who have gotten the lucky ramp in these world record runs, they've hit a lot of dirt consequently. I don't think you can really control that too much, but Connor hit minimal dirt, it seems, in this run, and I think that really helped to give him the sub 152. So congrats on your improvement. We also had another world record improvement on January 1st, this time heading to GC and Peach Beach on the No Glitch category. American player Guy improved his own world record by 20 milliseconds with a time of 1:12.815 on January 1st. I'm going to throw the comparison between the former world record and this new world record on the screen for you all right now, and I want to show the point where I want to show how optimized a track like this is. There are several factors to keep in mind in this race, including the tides on each lap, cutting enough water on the shrooms, and also evading these cataquacks on their respective laps, especially on lap 3 as well. Even with those factors in mind, just seeing how optimized this track is insane. If you look at the end of lap 3, on the very last straight after the last main turbo, his new run is at maybe 2 milliseconds behind, but because his new run got a full chain and the previous record got a half chain, he barely pressed ahead. He got a mid 0.8 on lap 1, which is literally, I mean, when I say that's crazy, especially having that in a run. I believe Guy's best splits barely missed the 112.6 mark. I could be wrong on that, but I'm still exceedingly amazed at just how far this track has been pushed. I don't know how we're going to get much further than a 112 mid 7 here at the current pace right now with these current strategies. Congrats on your improvement. The 6th longest standing world record was beaten on January 12th. American player Guy set a time on Mario Circuit Glitch of 53.592 on January 22nd, 2015. American player Bryce has been grinding this category for months now, and I've seen some of his attempts on stream, and he's been grinding this track for so long, and his efforts finally paid off on January 12th, with a time of 53.091. A new strategy for the first shroom was utilized in this run. Instead of shrooming on the right hand side, he actually shroomed on the left hand side, and he lands on the sloped part of the hill, and once he lands on the track, his main turbo is already charged up, and he proceeded to do the no stop glitch on laps 2 and 3. What blew my mind was not only this first improvement, but Bryce also improved a second time on January 28th with a time of 52.658. The main difference in this new run is that he actually used the left hand strategy on all 3 laps. He didn't even do the no stop glitch. And just really thinking about it, I'm not really that knowledgeable at all in glitches, especially Mario Circuit glitch, but what it looks like to me is if you pull off this clip fast enough on each lap, you're landing on the ground and the main turbo right away. Especially because the no stop shroom is a little bit dodgy depending on if you clip through the mountain and if you get some lucky bounces onto the road. And even then you have to purposely hit into the wall, turn around, trigger the lap, and charge the main turbo before you even move forward. I think there's definitely a lot more time to squeeze out of this category now that this strategy is being used. So congrats Bryce, your efforts finally paid off, congrats on your improvements. The other beach themed track in this game, GBA Shy Guy Beach, was also improved this month. American player Sosis beat the former world record by British player Liam with a time of 1:21.496 on January 13th. Now, apart from the alignment into the ramp on lap 2, this run is exceedingly strong. This track is very difficult with the spear, even though it's the fastest vehicle here. If you hit just the littlest bit of either water or grass, you're losing a ton of speed, even with the acceleration of the spear. And these island hops, and especially not being slowed down at all at this last transition before the ramp, is very hard to pull off. A cut to this time of this magnitude is quite impressive, and I definitely think this record is going to be hard to beat at this point. So congrats on your improvement. GCM Waluigi Stadium would also see an improvement this month. British player Ace improved upon his own world record this month, with a time of 1:48.754 on January 14th. The areas to keep in mind whether you're going to be losing time or gaining time on each lap in this run is going to be how well you're doing the wall bounce, the wall ride into the zippers, having a great turn skip, and also how low of a low trick you're getting on the last ramp. I'm comparing his former world record here, and he's off-screening the world record into the last turn. It definitely seems like this run was 148.6 material, but he unfortunately missed the low jump on the last ramp. And I believe Ace hit his very first 35 lap on lap 2, I think it was a 35.8, so he definitely has a lot more room for improvement here. Congrats on your improvement. American player Paul will set his very first world record this month on DS Desert Hills on the no shortcut category. He beat the previous world record set by British player Liam by 7 milliseconds with a time of 1:34.780 on January 17th. He would also improve his own world record 2 times this month. He improved this world record by 9 milliseconds on January 20th, 3 days later, with a time of 1:34.771. And then 3 more days later, he got another improvement a little bit larger this time, with a time of 1:34.749 on January 23rd. One of the biggest influences on whether this world record is improved or not is by getting what's called the lucky shroom. Now, the shroom is still not understood to my knowledge, but essentially, if you shroom and wheelie in such a way, you can maintain your wheelie on the first mound, and when the shroom boost wears off, you're maintaining your wheelie in the air off of the second mound. You're preserving your speed in mid-air, and you're traveling a lot farther than as you would if your wheelie did not transfer. I believe this shroom compared to a normal shroom saves at least 0.2. It could be 0.3. More experienced players, definitely like Paul and Liam, could tell you what that difference would actually be. The 1:34.749 is definitely the best driven out of the 3, and he got a 31.5 lap 2 without the lucky shroom, and a very low 0.6 lap 3 without the lucky shroom, which is honestly insane. Seeing the hills driven at the very end, especially the last turn, if done properly, is very satisfying to see. I'm going to throw up a comparison right now of all of Paul's improvements this month, and I was quite perplexed to see that you can actually lose a fair amount of time on the last turn of all things. I didn't really think you could lose too much time, but you can definitely see that this can make or break a lap, let alone a run. I think a low 134 is reasonable if you're getting 2 or more of the wheelie cuts throughout the run. Though as mentioned previously, this type of shroom is still not heavily understood. Regardless though, congrats Paul on getting your first world record and also getting your second and third improvement also this month in quick succession. Another one of the longest standing world records in this game of over 1,000 days was beaten on January 20th. Danish player Bob set his very first overall world record in this game, beating the previous world record by 36 milliseconds. I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to the karting side of this game, but what I've come to have since learned is that Bob is actually one of the best kart users in this game, and he actually holds quite a few of the kart world records in this game. And as mentioned, I'm no expert at all when it comes to using a kart in this game, so I can't really give a deep analysis as to where you can really gain time or lose time in this run, but I'll offer you guys a different perspective anyway. I can at least explain why a kart is faster than a bike, at least humanly for now. The biggest time save is definitely how the karts can do the shroom, but also a kart is almost always in some form of a boost throughout this entire run, so it can definitely keep up with the bike and outbeat it by a fair margin. And for comparison, the best bike time right now to my knowledge is a 2:27.4, I believe. So the kart does beat this by quite a margin here. Even though I can't really pick out where Bob is either gaining time or losing time here, it's just very satisfying to watch the entire run and to see this improvement in general. And as mentioned previously, this is Bob's first overall world record in the game. And I think this is actually the first Danish world record overall, I think, which is really cool. Congrats on your improvement. We saw 2 improvements this month also on Koopa Cape. Starting off, British player Ace reclaimed the world record from Belgian player Alefrey by 22 milliseconds with a time of 2:18.398 on January 20th. Ace was in very good pace into lap 3, but unfortunately most of his time lost during this run in particular will be from the halfway point of lap 3 in the tunnel until the very end. Now, out of the woodwork, only a week later on January 27th, American player Justin would improve the world record by 2 milliseconds with a time of 2:18.396. And from what I've heard, this is Justin's very first 2:18 on Koopa Cape, which is literally insane. I remember in one of my streams, this was the day before Justin set his run, he was talking in my chat and he said to look out for him on Koopa Cape, and the next day I woke up and he set this monster of a PB, which happened to have been the world record. And this world record actually signifies Justin's very first no glitch, no shortcut world record he has driven thus far. I think this track definitely has a ways to go. I don't think a 2:17 is unreasonable at this point, especially seeing what all these high level players are pulling out on Koopa Cape these days. Congrats on your improvement. Nearing the end of this month, one of the absolute craziest world records was set in this game, at least in my opinion. On January 24th, American player Idris would reclaim the world record by American player Bryce, and he beat the world record by over 2 seconds. On January 24th, Idris would set a time of 22.406 on Mushroom Gorge Glitch. American player Idris becomes the very first player to ever set off, I think is called the quad, quote unquote, by these players. Essentially what that means is they turn around on the rock back and forth and they complete the run without ever touching the ground. I cannot even begin to imagine just how difficult this is to pull off. I think this was confirmed possible a couple of years ago through a task time, but no human has been able to pull this off. And as far as I've been aware, top level Mushroom Gorge Glitch players have come close at periods of time, but they have not been able to pull it off until now. And just visually looking at this is one of the craziest runs ever in my opinion. So congrats on achieving this amazing milestone. Now to wrap up all of the world records in January, there were 2 improvements at the end of the month on the GC and DK Mountain glitch category. American player Logan improved his own world record twice. First setting a time of 1:59.378 on January 26th, which beat his previous world record by a little bit over 0.1. However, 3 days later, Logan improved his time again, but this time he improved his time by over 0.6 and also achieving the first 158 on DK Mountain. On January 29th, Logan was set a time of 158.772. There are two things I want to note overall of my analysis of these runs. First off, on the 158 that Logan set, he did a very interesting backup strategy on lap 1 right before the bridge that I think is actually faster overall. Logan actually managed a slip drift right before the bridge. And the reason why I think this is faster is because he's getting propelled into the bridge and he's landing at max speed and maintaining that momentum. This bridge is notorious, especially if you're not using a shroom on it, where it's very bouncy and you lose a lot of unnecessary time, whether on the glitch or no glitch category or even online, depending on what shroom strategy or items you're using. I never even thought getting a slip drift there would even be possible with that little room that you have to charge it before the bridge. And the other comment is more so a general one. Most of the time save in this category in particular is really going to come from not pulling off the shroom, but the recovery and getting a low clip at the very ending shortcut before the last turn. And Logan's recovery after each shroom on each lap is amazing in this run, which definitely contributes to a lot of time save that he has compared to his previous runs as well. And also I recently learned that Logan set a second worldwide time on the no glitch category of this track as well. And I've definitely been able to see his improvements in his driving overall on this track with his improvements throughout these past couple of months as well. Congrats on your improvements. And with all that, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the world record progression of January 2019 in Mario Kart Wii. 10 unique tracks, 17 world records, long-standing world records being beaten, a lot of competition, a lot of awesome stuff that we reviewed today. To put this entire month into perspective, apart from October 2018, this is the month with the most world records set since February 2016, 3 years ago. I thought 2018 was a fantastic year for time trial, and 2019 is already shaping up to be an even better of a year. And I'm definitely very excited to see where this year is going to bring us in terms of time trial and all these new improvements that are going to come this year. So if you like content like this, definitely please leave me a like and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. It does help to grow the channel and to reach these types of videos to more people as well. I hope you all enjoyed the video, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.